Hey, so I don't know if you guys remember, there was a TikTok that was the first half of or first part of a accounting textbook, chapter one. So I figured let's step back into that, keep getting through it. Okay, so where we left off, the vocab word um, was accountants, was public accounting and certified public accountants. So the sentence it's used in is accountants and their staff who provide services on a fee basis are said to be employed in public accounting. Public accountants who have met the state's education, experience, and examination requirements may become certified public accountants, CPAs. So this is what they perform. Some tasks. So the career options. People clerk, general accountant, budget analyst, cost accountant, internal auditor, information, technology auditor, local firms, and national firms for public accountants. Some different salaries and certifications to look for. I was thinking about this because I'm starting to figure out if I want to build a business, what parts. Even though I want to do it all, I'm realizing if I really want to actually build a good business that reaches a lot of people and can help a lot of people to become their best selves, then I need to allow people in who already have figured out skill sets, which I mean, I love learning too much that I need to like learn to let someone else do some of the pieces. So, okay. This says generally accepted accounting principles. Thus, financial accountants follow generally accepted accounting principles in preparing reports. Okay. Accounting principles and concepts develop from research, accepted accounting practices, and pronouncements of regulators. Within the United States Financial Accounting Standards Board has a primary responsibility for developing accounting principles. In addition, the Securities and Exchange Commission, an agency of the U.S. government, has authority over the accounting and financial disclosures for the company whose share of ownership stock are traded and sold to the public. Okay. Many countries outside the United States use generally accepted accounting principles adopted by the International Accounting Standards Board. What does this say? The IASB issues IFRSs. Okay. In this chapter in text, accounting principles and concepts are emphasized. It is by the emphasis on the why as well as the how that we'll gain understanding of accounting. Okay. I'm gonna pause and read this real quick. So the data entity concept limits the economic data in the accounting system to data related directly to the activities of the business. In other words, the business is viewed as an entity separate from its owners, creditors, or other businesses. Okay. A business entity may take the form of proprietorship, partnership, corporation, or limited liability company, LLC. Each of these forms and their major characteristics are listed. Proprietorship is owned by one, partnership is owned by two, dreams, goals. And so characteristics, 70% of business entities in the United States. Oh, okay, so that's for proprietorship for one. Easy and cheap to organize, resources are limited to those of the owner used by small business. Yes. 2% of the business organizations in the U.S. combined with limited liability provide the skills, resources by one person. Okay. Corporations, where things start to get janky. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of. It is organized under the state or federal statutes as a separate legal taxable entity. Generates 90% of businesses of 90% of business revenues. 20% of business organizations in the United States. Ownership is divided into shares called stock. Can obtain large amounts of resources by issuing stock used by large businesses. LLC combines the attributes of a partnership and a corporation. 10% of businesses in the U.S. Combined with partnership. Often used as an alternative to partnership, has tax and legal liability advantages for owners big time. Yes. Because I've heard if somebody sues you or your LLC, if something happens at your business or whatever, it doesn't affect you. It just affects whatever assets or things that are held in that LLC or in that business. So that way it protects the owner. I think I'm not going to say that with 100% certainty, but I've heard that from two people. So 85. A smooth 85. Okay, so most large retailers such as Walmart and Home Depot corporations. Ford is a corporation. Okay. The cost concept. Under the cost concept, accounts are initially recorded in their accounting records at their cost or purchase price to illustrate. So Aaron Publishers purchased the following. Is building on February 20th. Okay. There's some prices and some numbers. A little story about selling to a new owner and the cost. The cost concept also involves the objectivity and the unit of measure concepts. The objectivity concept requires that the amounts recorded in the accounting records be based on objective evidence. The unit of measure concept requires that economic data be recorded in dollars. Okay. The resource owned, this is the accounting equation, the resource owned by a business are its assets. Examples of assets include cash, land, buildings, and equipment. The rights or claims to assets are divided into two types: the right of creditors and the right of owners. The right of creditors are debts of the business called liabilities. The rights of owners are called owner's equity. The following equation shows the relationship among assets, liabilities, and the owner's equity. So assets equals liabilities and the owner's equity. The equation is called the accounting equation. Liabilities usually are shown before owner's equity in the accounting equation because creditors have the first rights to assets. Oh, I didn't know that. Creditors. No, I'm just kidding. Creditors. What are creditors? I'm gonna figure that out. Yeah. Business transactions and the accounting equation. Okay. Such economic event or condition that directly changes an entity's financial condition or its results of operations is a business transaction. Okay, I feel like we're getting into some meaty information here. Some stuff definitely burden is clicking more. There's a picture of the equation here. Okay, it's a little cash and land, cash supplies and land, accountants, and Chris Clark Capital. Net solutions here. Okay, here we are with the vocab. So you have earned money by painting houses or mowing lawns. If so, you received money for rendering services to a customer. Likewise, a business earns money by selling goods or services to its customers. This amount is called revenue. Okay. Different terms are used for various types of revenue, as illustrated above. Yes, we've got different things under different categories. Revenue from providing services is recorded as fees earned. Revenue from the sale of merchant is recorded as sales. Other examples of revenue include rent, which is recorded as rent revenue, and interest, which is recorded as interest revenue. Instead of paying cash at times of services, at the time services are provided or goods are sold, a business may accept payment at a later date. Fees earned on an account, or sales on account. That's how it's recorded. Okay. In such cases, the firm has an account receivable, which is a claim against the customer. Okay. Let's collect in the pipe. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. The assets used in this process of earning revenue are called during the month, the solution spent cash or used up other assets in earning revenue. Assets used in this process of earning revenue are called expenses. Expenses include supplies used and payments for employee wages, utilities, and other services. Okay, so here we've got our equation, the assets, liabilities, and some more equations here. Actually, oh, mama. Nice. I like that, simple. Okay, and then another vocab. Let's see. We've got financial statements. After transactions have been recorded and summarized, reports are prepared for users. The accounting reports providing this information are called financial statements. We've got income statement, statements of owner's equity, balance sheets, and statements of cash flow. Okay. Income statements. Income statement reports the revenue and expenses for a period of time based on the matching concept. This concept is applied by matching the expenses incurred during a period with the revenue that those expenses generated. The excess of the revenue over the expenses is called net income, net profit, or earnings. If the expenses exceed the revenue, the excess is a net loss. For sure. My exes, when they lost me, net loss. No, I'm just I'll grow up. I'm done. I'm just kidding. I think they found their missing puzzle pieces, or I hope that they do. Stay over there. I'm cracking myself up. Oh my god. Okay, so statements of owner equity. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, balance sheet is good for sure. Net Solutions is Texas' favorite company. It is good to track everything though. Hope you see detail for detail. And it's hard too. It's not that easy. Some people have a really good mind for it. I'm not. The form of balance sheet shown in Exhibit 6. This is Exhibit 6 here. So, it's called the account form. Ooh, the account form. This is because it resembles the basic format of accounting equation with assets on the left side and the liabilities and owner's equity sections on the right side. Okay. And then statements of cash flows, like that. Statement of cash flow consists of the following three sections as shown in Exhibit 6: operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities. Each of these sections is briefly described below. Okay, cash flow from operating activities. This section reports the summary of cash receipts and cash payments from operations. The net cash flow from operating activities normally differs from account of net income for the period. Okay. This section reports the cash transaction for the acquisition of sale or relatively permanent assets. Okay. Cash flows for financing activities. This section reports the cash transactions related to cash investments by the owner, borrowings, and withdrawals by the owner. So preparing the statement of cash flows requires each of the November cash transactions be classified as an operating, investing, or financial activity. Okay, so start to track where the money flows. I like that. Okay. Yes, feel free to pause at any of these times if you want to get a closer look at any of the images. I'm just sticking with the vocab words and like charts, getting the gist of it, but sometimes you gotta get into the bigger or into the smaller details. So financial statements, income statement and statement of owner's equity, statements of owner's equity and balance sheets, and statements of cash flows. Interrelational. Okay. Okay. And then financial analysis and interpretation. Ratio liabilities to owner's equity. The relation between liabilities and owner's equity expresses a ratio of liabilities to owner's equity. Ratio of liabilities to owner's equity. Total liabilities over total owner's equity. Ratio of liabilities to owner's equity. Got some numbers plugged in. Okay. Oh, okay. And then people use this number to rate it or give it, I guess to figure out if they want to invest in it or not invest in it or things like that. Its value, how its value is determined. Corporations refer to total owner's equity as total stockholders' equity. Thus, total stockholders' equity is substituted for total owner's equity when computing this ratio. To illustrate, balance sheet in millions for Google and McDonald's are shown. Okay. So Google, wow, McDonald's has a lot. I don't know if these are real or not, but McDonald's has a lot more liabilities than Google. Okay. Stock pictures equity. Dude, if these are real, gosh, tech is it. Okay. And then let's see. Got some more key points. Okay, we got key points. Okay. And so it's practicing all the things that we've learned. Very good, very good. Some samples to look at. Applying it. Good thing we're not being printed. No, no, I probably should practice these at least once or twice. Some points. Okay. If y'all want me to, I can post and read out some of the exercises somebody put notes in it, the practices. We could go through that too. I'm honestly compelled to just stick with the vocab and the general concepts and like flowcharts, and then if y'all want, we could put the practice of it in there. But yeah, okay, woohoo! Yes, cool. Happy weekend.